While ancient and medieval South Asia weren't queer utopias, and it is important we be clear that prejudice did exist, gender and sexual diversity were deeply woven into everyday life. Trans and queer identities appear in Hindu philosophy, in temples, carved into stone, and in royal life, where Hijras sometimes held positions of trust and influence. The word Hijra, often used for South Asia's gender variant or gender diverse community, has roots in Arabic, but evolved into a recognized identity across Hindu, Muslim, and folk traditions. Hijras were, and still are, invited to bless births and weddings, particularly in Hindu temples and Sufi shrines. This is not to say that Hijras were not marginalized, and again, we cannot reframe history pretending that South Asia was a queer utopia. But during both Hindu and Mughal rule, there is no record of legal bans on gender or sexual variant. In fact, some Hijras served in royal courts, even as military leaders or advisors. Then came British colonialism. The British codified Section 377 and the Criminal Tribes Act of 1871, a law that criminalized what was called unnatural sex and labeled Hijras as a criminal tribe. For the first time in South Asian history, queerness became a legal crime. Prejudice existed before, but colonial rule codified it and weaponized it in ways that South Asia hadn't seen before. And yet, as we've shown in the series, it's not just the Kama Sutra. Ancient Sanskrit texts like the Natyashastra and the Puranas include people outside of the male-female binary. Same-sex unions and gender-fluid figures are literally carved into temple walls, temples that are still worshipped at today. Why is this important? Because some people still dismiss queerness as a Western concept, something new, invented, strange, etc. But the evidence in our stories, scriptures, art, and living traditions says otherwise. This is divine human nature. We hope you've enjoyed our 4-part series on LGBTQ+ history in South Asia. This Pride, may we honor the truth that all identities are divine, and may we do our part to amplify voices that have too often been attacked. In the words of the Mahopanishad text, Vasudeva Kutumbakam, the whole world is one family.